evening, sir. Isn't it a little late to be shipping off cargo?
I run into a little bad weather back there. I didn't get into town about an hour ago.
I see. What's your cargo?
I got a load of grain on.
Mind if we saw it through your barrels? There's been rumors of slaves escaping in these parts.
Sure, help yourself.
It's empty.
Let's get them.
Joshua, it's enough for today, thank you.
Sure, Bob.
You go wait outside. Mr. Wilcox and I have a word.
Yes, Bob.
Jeffrey.
How's everything, Michael? Looks like we'll receive another shipment in the next few days.
I'm still thinking about the last one.
You can't dwell on it. We knew going in this was going to be dangerous.
What went wrong? We surveyed the entire area. How could we have not spotted these two men?
Can't dwell on that too much. Other people are counting on us. If we lose focus, they'll die too. I heard from one of my contacts some of the plantation owners are catching on. They've hired men to retrieve the slaves. Plus, the government's getting involved. And I heard they're about to pass some fugitive slave laws. They have slave catchers now, Michael. What was their names? LeBlanc, Lafleur.
Regardless of their names, we have to be even more careful than before. No one else is gonna die on my watch.
As long as we stay focused, we'll be all right. Miss Tubman has these plans well thought out.
Miss Tubman, have you heard back from her?
Not yet.
Well, you and I, Jeffrey, we have to come up with a plan that sees that no one else is put into harm's way.
Gentlemen, hello. You must be Mr. Cross.
I am indeed. What can I do for you fine gentlemen today?
A few weeks ago, there was an attempted slave escape.
Attempted? Oh my goodness. So by attempted, I must assume that these culprits were apprehended.
Indeed they were, thanks to Delhomme and myself.
Well, congratulations, gentlemen, but what does that have to do with me?
We've been monitoring this town for a while, and your store seems to be the busiest.
Well, I like to think of myself as some use to this good community.
You have a lot of shipments coming in for such a small store, and we're keeping our eyes on you. Freeing slaves is a crime, and anybody taking part is subject to severe punishment. Consider this a warning.
Well, I'd like to thank you for your expert advice. And now that we've gotten that out of the way, is there anything else I can do for you gentlemen this afternoon? Perhaps you'd like a sack of potatoes or a box of salt or something?
No, we'll be fine. Thank you for your time. We'll be seeing you.
Oh, Mr. LaFleur, is it? Someday soon, these slaves will be free. You'll be unemployed. You can always come to work for me, sir. Good day.
Paul. Why were those men threatening you yesterday?
The matter of contention was over an incident that occurred a few weeks ago.
The slaves escaping? I overheard the conversation. Are we in danger? What I should say, are you involved in this, Paul?
We'll be all right, Joshua. I don't want you involved.
It's not what you were telling Mr. Wilcox yesterday.
How much did you hear?
Everything? Look, Paul. I know I could help out in this. That's why you need to give me a chance.
Didn't you hear what I just said? I told you I don't want you involved.
Tell me this then. Who's Mrs. Tubman?
Oh, so you know a lot about what your pa's been up to. I'm going to tell you a bit more. A few months ago, when I took my trip to Baltimore, I met a woman by the name of Miss Harriet Tubman. She's an escaped slave who helps free other slaves. After telling me of her efforts, I decided to volunteer to become a stop in what she called the Underground Railroad. And that's how Mr. Wilcox and myself got involved.
So why can't I help you?
Because it's dangerous, Joshua. Besides, you got your schooling. And I need you at the store.
Dangerous? If I'm already working at the store, isn't that dangerous enough if you're shipping slaves out of there? I'm 16 years old here, Pa. I'm not asking to drive the wagon, I'm just asking to help you. I just want to be a part of something that you're doing. If this means a lot to you, which it does, I can see it in your eyes and hear it in your tone of voice, then you just have to understand how much it means to me as well.
I'm breaking the law, Joshua. I want you to know that. And I don't condone breaking laws. All the same, this is one law that should have never been written. These people are American citizens, just like you and I, and they deserve their freedom, just as we do.
Is that why you're involved?
When I grew up in Georgia, my father kept slaves. And one of them was my best friend. And one day I invited him into the house with my papa there. And my papa turned to me and said, I want you to get that dirty nigger out of my house. After that, me and him would run away. He got caught, I kept running. I come north, I met your mother. She understood. She understood that it was long before anyone else. It was wrong to keep slaves. You miss your mama, don't you?
Yes, sir, I do.
And I'm proud of you, Joshua. The way you grew up without her. And I know she'd be proud of you that you asked to help. But I want you to promise me one thing. For every slave that we help set free, I want you to honor your mama's memory.
Sir, I will.
That's good.
The shipment will arrive tonight in barrels. To hopefully avoid any confrontation, they're going to leave the barrels outside the basement and ride off. It's up to us to bring the barrels in.
Well, this plan isn't foolproof, but I suppose we don't have many options. Any word from Miss Tubman?
This could be our chance.
Looks like it was just passing through.
Think again. There were 4 barrels when it went behind the store. Now it only has 1.
Let's go in and get them.
Not so fast. I have an idea that is much more productive.
Thank you for helping us, sir. We're truly in your debt.
Well, I'm just glad your journey was not too difficult.
Freedom has a price. You must be Mr. Krause.
I am.
I'm Pete Brown. This is my wife, Ruth.
Pleasure to meet the both of you.
I hate to ask, but you got any food?
Food?
We haven't eaten in a good while.
We can get you some nice hot food soon. It certainly is a pleasure to have the both of you here, all 3 of you. Well, you'll be staying on with us for a few days, and we're going to get you on your way to Baltimore. Get you some food, place to sleep. What's the matter?
It's from the
Oh,
jar.
my goodness, my goodness. Jeffrey, look at this. Oh, we're going to get these fixed up right away. Joshua, I got an errand to run down the street. I want you to watch over the store for me, all right?
Good day, Young Cross. Is your father in?
No, he's down the street. Can I help you with anything?
Actually, you can. Around this town, somebody has been involved in aiding slaves to escape to the north. As chivalrous as this may sound, it is illegal. Do you know the punishment of such an act? Death. Now I'm gonna make a simple proposition to you. I know your father is involved in one form or another. I just haven't caught him red-handed. You can either gather information for me on this operation so I can catch them, or I will kill you and your father. My job is not to kill, it's to bring back the slaves. Don't make me change my job description. If you talk with him or anybody else about our conversation, it will also lead to the death of your father and yourself. Does that sound simple enough?
Yeah.
Good. I'll be seeing you around.
I was talking with the boy Joshua. He seemed bothered, and I asked him why. He wouldn't tell me at first, and I kept asking. He finally told me about the last bunch of slaves, how they didn't make it.
We knew this was a risk. We can't think of the worst.
Just the thought of freedom, thought of hope, it's enough to keep me going.
I remember a few years ago, when I was working at Master Henry's house, there was a slave named Thomas. Every day in the fields, he'd be talking about, one day, old Pete, I'm going skate. The day came when he finally left. A few weeks passed, nobody heard a thing about him. I thought he made it. Till one day when we was in the fields again, I see 2 men dragging his body in. Thought he was dead for sure, but he wasn't that lucky. Instead, Master had him beat in front of everybody. His face, his clothes, all covered in blood. Nobody ever tried to leave after that. Ruth and me are the first.
We done seen 2 men beat to death just because they messed up a batch of cotton.
That's why we doing this. After that, I knew I had no choice. Sometimes I wonder why God put Negroes in America. I mean, I know we's got to have a better purpose than being slaves to a bunch of white folks. Given a chance, I know I can make something of myself.
Now we's in good hands here. Mr. Krause won't understand.
4 days from now, 3 a.m.
How are they getting shipped?
He didn't say. The only other thing I know is there's an entrance to the cave right here underneath this barrel. That's it.
Very well. Keep trying to find out more, but this news should be sufficient. You better be right, young Cross. Remember what I told you about lying?
Please don't let this harvest pass. Sinner, please don't let this harvest pass. Sinner, please don't let this harvest pass. Sinner, please don't let this harvest pass.
So what y'all two gonna do when y'all get to the north?
Not too sure. Might try and buy 40 acres once I save up a little.
And I want to be a seamstress. Made the master's wife some clothes a few times, and I was good at it.
What about you? What you gonna do with your freedom?
I'm fed up with this whole manual labor. Thinking about getting into politics. Heard about a man named Frederick Dulles, so I might work with him.
That's a lot, don't you think?
You never aim too high, Pete. I mean, we fortunate enough to reach freedom. I'm trying to help others get there too, you know.
Maybe I'll join you, John. You and me together, we'll bring down slavery.
Sinner, please don't let this harvest pass. Sinner, please don't let this harvest pass.
Joshua? Joshua! Calling you. What's wrong?
Nothing?
Acting strangely. Thinking about tomorrow night?
Something like that.
Well, the only thing that could go wrong is if LaFleur had our escape routes.
Too far out.
What did you say?
Have you ever been in a situation where right and wrong is so blurred that you just don't know which is which?
Well, Joshua, in my experience, right and wrong are often blurred. Matter of fact, last night when I was having dinner, I was thinking to myself, should I have that piece of pecan
I'm serious
pie?
here, Pa.
I'm sorry, son. Go ahead.
I may just have ruined everything, and I'm afraid I put everybody's life in jeopardy.
Do you want to tell me what you're talking about?
LaFleur knows. The other day he confronted me in the store and he threatened me that if I didn't give him information about the slaves that he was gonna kill the both of us.
Damn it, I knew I shouldn't have got you involved.
It's not my fault. I didn't have a choice in this.
I know it's not your fault. I didn't say that. It's my fault. I should have known LaFleur was gonna use you against me.
I just didn't want anything to happen to us. I know how important the slaves are to you, but I couldn't help it. What are you gonna do now? Are you gonna cancel the shipment?
No, I can't cancel the shipment. LaFleur's expecting the shipment tomorrow night. Just gonna have to think about something else. Tell you what, you go home, you get yourself some sleep, let your pa think about this. I'll take care of everything.
I'm really sorry, Pa.
I know you're sorry. You just have to remember one thing, Joshua. What we're doing is bigger than you and me and LaFleur and all them slaves. We cannot give in. Those people deserve their freedom, and that's exactly what we're gonna give them. You go home now, you get some rest. Go on.
Sorry.
I know you're sorry.
There has to be another way, Jeffrey. Don't tell me there's only one way to ship these slaves. Something.
What if we shipped the slaves from the basement on the side of the store? With the floor garden and cemetery in the front, we may be able to get out on the side.
Could work.
It'll have to.
Our time has come, gentlemen. This town has been aged to the wrong side for far too long, and you've done nothing. Tonight, that shall end. It is imperative we catch Cross with the slaves, because then we have the legitimate right to execute anybody involved. Once we have secured the slaves, we will then burn down Cross's general store. Anybody else inside?
Everything is ready. We wish you a safe journey to Baltimore. A few of the plans have changed, however. Mr. Wilcox is going to fill you in on everything. Jeffrey?
The barrels you'll be carried in, we're divided into 2 compartments. The top compartment will be filled with grain. The bottom, yourselves. I know it'll be a little bit uncomfortable, but I think it'll add another level of security.
It's time. Everybody get loaded up.
Thanks again, Mr. Costa. See you in Baltimore.
Thank you, John. See you. You have a very safe trip.
Good young buck, Mr. Joshua. I'm sure you make your father right proud.
Jeffrey, I want to thank you for everything you've done.
Thought you were coming with us.
I've got some... I want you to look after Joshua for me.
You can't stay here. If they catch you, they'll kill you.
I'll be fine. Now just go!
I understand what you're trying to do, but that's not going to solve anything. Come on, escape with us. We'll start over in Baltimore. LaFleur wins if you get caught.
That's where you're wrong, Jeffrey. LaFleur is expecting to foil our plans. If we all escape, he'll hunt us down. We may lose the battle, but we will ultimately win the war. And no one said there wouldn't be casualties here. Please, Jeffrey, take Joshua and go. Now!
Oh, what's going on?
Joshua, listen. I want you to be strong. You hear me? I want you to go with Mr. Wilcox.
No, Pa, I'm not leaving without you.
Joshua, you be strong for me, okay? Come on, son. You go now. Come on. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it.
No, Pa, I'm not leaving without you. No.